Let's talk about design principles. There are 4 basic design principles. This goes for whether you're designing something for print media or whether you're designing something for digital media, like a web page, for instance. The 4 basic principles are contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. To help you remember this, let's just think of crap. Ha 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 ha. Let's start with contrast. Contrast is, we can often think of it as the way that our text contrasts with our background. So be aware of light text on light background and dark text on dark background. Also be wary of having an image for a background in which it has light and dark components, because it will be very hard to have a font, either a light or dark colored font, that is easily visible on that website. Contrast can also refer to things like having a large type versus small type. We use large headings, like our H1s are large to draw the eye, and then our paragraphs are smaller. That's a way for us to create contrast. Using a script font versus a sans serif font, graphic size, all of that can help your contrast in your design. All right, let's look at repetition. One of the ways that we can have repetition in this case, this example, is through this use of color. The color for each of the headings are the same, and that helps draw your eye to where you need to go. Repetition can be anything, like a horizontal rule. So maybe after each section you have a horizontal rule. Maybe you use bullets a certain way throughout your website. Maybe you have a certain relationship between your text and your images throughout your whole website. You have the same fonts that you use throughout your website. All of those fall into the category of repetition. The next thing let's look at is alignment. Alignment, let's try to not center just for the sake of centering. Okay? Sometimes centering is really good for a website and really good for design, and sometimes think outside the box and try a left alignment or a right alignment and see how that looks. For example, this is a business card center aligned, but what happened if we right align that? That strong invisible line, when you have something right aligned like this, it draws the eye. It's just can make your design more appealing and more interesting. So don't be afraid to try a right alignment or a left alignment. There's also justification. So in this case, instead of having jagged edges around your paragraph, you can use justification so that you have a nice clean square or rectangle shape. This can get annoying though, because then you could have extra spaces between your words. So be wary of justification. And then the last principle is proximity. Take a look at this business card. Squint your eyes and see how many times your eyes have to move locations to catch a new piece of information. It has to move 5 times. Here, 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 and here. With proximity, you group things that are important together. So this would be an example of proximity. You have the name and the title together. You have the address information together. So be aware of that on your website. Like if you have an image that you're using, make sure that it's in proximity to the text that describes the image. This may be something that you just kind of do without even thinking about, but always keep these 4 principles in mind: contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity.